Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're your hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every weekday, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can find all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues affecting you and your neighbors.
Want to know what's happening in your city? Get Notify Me messages from the City of Fitchburg. Visit fitchburgwi.gov on your computer or mobile device and select the big Notify Me button on the left. Enter your email and/or phone number, whichever is best for you to get notifications. Scroll down the list and select all the topics you're interested in to receive email or text messages about. You'll be notified every time one of your topics is updated. Sign up for Notify Me, one more way to keep up with your Fitchburg government.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the April 2025 Fitchburg Library Board meeting. Called to order at 5:30. All right, well, lost my agenda already. Item 2, public appearances. There are none. Item number 3, approval of minutes. May I have a motion to approve the March 2025 minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Ann. Does anybody have anything to add? Corrections, updates? They looked good to me also.
Yep.
Okay. If nothing else, all in favor of approving the March 2025 minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, financial report. So may I have a motion to approve the January 2025 financial register and overview? I'll make the motion.
Thank you. All right, so we are looking at January, which is always chock full of annual contracts. So a lot of money going out. That is very typical. You'll see a lot of that in 245 with our software renewals, and then in 290 with sorter, self-checks, elevators, kind of everything else. One other thing. Oh, and then also in collections. So we pay for all of our WPLC, which is Libby and Overdrive. We pay all that to South Central in one chunk in January. Also for magazines and for the Advantage program that we do as a system. So that is, as I said, a lot of money going out, but nothing that is out of the ordinary. On the overview, you'll see, I think everything looks in order. The one thing I wanted to point out that we will need to update, we just don't have the data yet, is the fund balances in the yellow square. So with fund balance, we take 15% of our operating budget for the year and set that aside into the just fund balance, and then assigned fund balance is what the balance is to be spent. So those are going to change a little bit based on the money that we spent last year, but also just updating that 15%. So that will, hopefully, if I can meet with the finance director, be all updated by next month. Everything else is pretty boring. Does anybody have questions?
For our January overview, so I guess the 200s grouping, it is this good like 20% higher than last year.
I'm going to say that's mostly because of contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the people counters and things like that.
Like the elevator contract, the fire protection, kind of all of our service contracts. Certainly we have a sorter.
Oh, the sorter too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
The self-check, like a lot of that just has escalators built
stuff.
in.
Yeah.
So that they go up.
Yeah, we did put in a lot of new services over last year, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, that's significantly more than inflation these days.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay.
Okay, if nothing else, all in favor of approving the January 2025 financial register and overview, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, unfinished business. There is none. Item number 6A, may I have a motion to approve the approval for the post-audit prior year financial report?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Ann.
All right, so this is the last time that you're going to see this one. The audit went through. We didn't have anything that we needed to address, which is always a good sign. Couple of things to note. So repair and maintenance, no, that's not the right one. Down in 355, furniture and operating expense, we had quite a bit left over there. We had budgeted $12,000 for strategic planning projects, and because we are in the middle of creating the next strategic plan, we did not need that. It's not unusual for us to have some money there. I think we also spent less on new computers than we expected to. So always good to have money left over, but that just seems more than usual. Also, I wanted to point out in the restricted grant expenditure, which is 5515510, the expenditure. So that looks like we're in the red, $7,600, but if you look down in the blue revenue, we had restricted grant revenue of the same amount that wasn't budgeted. So that is just grant money that we didn't know was coming, that we put there to kind of keep it out of the 250 accounts. So those are both 200 accounts. So it allows us to take in money that we didn't expect. I will also point out interest income came in at $88,000 and we budgeted for $2 million, so that's fantastic. Don't know how long that's going to last, but I'm not mad at that. That will, so as we talked about last year, is not money that we can spend in the moment, even though I tried real hard. But the finance department says you have to put that into fund balance and then budget for it going forward. So we've got some big CIP projects going on, so that will help with that. So it looks like we're putting about $90,000 into fund balance, which honestly for us is pretty low. I don't know. We just had expenses are up, so we're spending more than, we're spending more as we expected, whereas in previous years we've just had more left over. So we also have not. This is really good, but we haven't had money left over in salaries and wages, especially in the, if you look at the 120 account, LTE and seasonal wages, those are shelvers. When we used to pay $11 an hour, we used to have a lot of turnover, and so we would have money left there from vacancies. And that is up to over $16 an hour starting now, and we have had so much less turnover. So less money left over, but that's good because we've kept work steady through the year. So anyway, I'm happy with how this turned out in the end. If anybody has questions, I'm happy to answer them. I should also point out with the CIP in the green box that we ended up spending less than we had budgeted, so that was good. I think we had budgeted $35,000 just for the conference room, so the wall that went in and the furniture in that room. That room has been great. We finally finished it. We got the baffles hung, so we've been booking the room and staff have been using it, and everybody's been very happy about it. So that was a good project. Any questions about this? You've seen it 1,000 times, I apologize. It's just boring at this point.
It's good that the audit went through and there was no changes.
Yeah, it's always
All
good news, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I could make a comment, I think I'm doing this right, pushing until the light's off here.
No, leave it on. You want the
Leave
light
it on?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
First timer, apologies.
It's very different than council chambers.
Yes.
Yes.
As the person who has not seen this 1,000 times, the one thing that stood out to me, of course, is the first line here. Out of the, salaries and wages.
Yeah.
To be a budget of $1.146 million and to be within $1,800 of that stood out to me as, that was really impressive.
Oh, good.
So,
Excellent.
and then,
Yeah.
of course, made up in
Yeah.
interest and everything else that you said. But
Yeah.
well done.
Thank you. All right.
Okay. All right, nothing else. All in favor of approving the approval of the post-audit prior year financial report, say aye.
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 Opposed? Opposition? Or motion carries. Abstention, that's the word I was looking for. Okay, item number 7, President's Report. Nothing new on my side other than, congrats Logan on the win and thanks for joining us. And we're expecting one more member. I forget his name.
Ken.
Ken?
Yep.
So lots of turnover.
Yeah.
So, glad to have everybody here though. And then item number 8, Library Director Report.
All right. So statistics you have, that I don't think there's anything that jumped out at me as being unusual. Remember that March is a longer month and there are no closed holidays. So it looks a little bit higher than February, January, but it is all very standard. Moving on to facilities. So I think that I have shared with everyone that the fire panel for the library is reaching end of life, meaning that they don't make it anymore and they're not making parts for it. We did have our fire inspection recently and it is not functioning the way they want it to. So we will be moving forward with probably a budget amendment to council to replace that. I think we're looking at $10,000 or $12,000. We will be able to use fund balance for it because it's unexpected and it can't wait. So we are working on getting a quote on that, and you will see it. It will go to council and be referred back to the library board for approval before it goes back to council. Update on the second floor refresh project. So this is a CIP project that we're doing to change some things around on the second floor. We have ordered all of the furniture, got in before some tariffs. That worked out pretty well. We are at some point going to move the computers out of the tech center onto tables around the library in order to close the tech center so that we can start doing some demo work of our own before we have a company come in and expand that opening. Logan, we're taking out the tech center because nobody wants to sit at a computer with somebody behind them. Like the classroom style doesn't really work. So we're going to turn that into more of a living room space and reallocate computers around the floor. So we need to take out a whiteboard that I think is glued straight to the wall. So I think we're going to have some drywall to do and some painting. So getting that closed, while we're able to close that off, I think is a better time to do all of that before we then take out the glass wall. So that's going along. We are also talking about next year's CIP project, which is a refresh of the children's library. The goal of this, if you remember, is that we are losing a lot of money to having Fitchburg residents check out in Verona. So we want to make our children's department awesome and where everybody wants to hang out. I went to the Friends of the Library board meeting this morning, presented to them the ideas that we have, and they are very supportive. They want to put some money into it for the design process this year, to be installed next year, and then do some fundraising to raise funds for that. We also have $200,000 set aside for that. So that is great. I'm so happy that they're supportive and that they decided right off the bat. They came right after the meeting to tell me. So that's fantastic. Sort of to go hand in hand with that, I did get an email from the Dane County Library Director that our Dane County payment next year, which you'll remember has been going down significantly every year, is going down another $30,000. Okay. So that's not great. Combined with the fact that because of the Dane County Library standards, we have to add another staff person, we're looking at about a $60,000 problem. So we'll see how that goes. We don't have enough budget data to start working on that yet, so I'll keep you posted. What else? Under personnel, we are very short-staffed at the moment due to 1 planned vacation and 2 medical leaves. One of them was a big surprise, so we are scrambling to offer extra hours to people to get desk coverage. We have had a couple of days where we didn't know if we were going to have enough people in the building to be open, but we have, thank goodness, had staff that wanted extra hours and picked it up. So we require 4 people that can be on a service point to be open, Logan, just so. So we are doing okay so far. There should be it's a 6-week problem, but the worst of it is in 2 weeks. So hopefully by May, we're doing better? We'll see. If you see that we're closing unexpectedly, that's why. Fingers crossed it doesn't come to that. We will be closed on May the 7th. It's a Wednesday, first F in service. Just a reminder. That has been planned for a while. Strategic planning, we have a survey team and an environmental scan team, and they are busy working on looking at our old surveys that we've done for strategic planning to see what we want to do this time, and they're doing that sort of on top of everything else they're doing. So we're going to have an update next week at a manager's meeting, and hopefully the survey is what we're talking about soon, doing that, and you will all be invited to take it. So. I think that's the end of my report.
So if we do have to close because of lack of staff, what does the notifications look like? I imagine that just goes on like Facebook and the website.
We'll go on
or
Facebook,
something.
put a notice on the website,
Yeah.
Send an email out to all of our email lists,
Sure.
put signs on the doors.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really hopeful it doesn't come to that.
Yeah. I mean, how much ahead of time do we? I guess you don't really know what to
So we
expect, but
just today solved the next Tuesday night problem.
okay.
So we're planning as far in
Okay.
advance as we can.
All right. So this isn't like it's 5 o'clock tonight and
Right. I mean, unless people call in sick, and then
Sure. And
then who knows?
that could happen at
Right.
any time, I guess.
Right. Staff have been really good about both picking up extra hours, but also full-time staff, like flipping their hours if they need to work in the evening. So, yeah.
Wendy,
Yeah.
I thought that you typically would put the board to work and the board president is the first on the list going in, right?
Sadly,
I'll second that motion.
under our contract with South Central, none of you are allowed to be in the patron database, so thank you, but no, you can't do that.
Give myself all the books.
You could
First
shelve
in
them.
line. I was shelving. Okay, yeah. A little bit of volunteer work. That's what we call it, right?
Oh, wait, no, and it's Ann's last meeting. Thank you, Ann. Ann's been on the board, is it 7?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She took the last year of a term and then did 2 full terms and has been an officer for almost all of that. So thank you.
Oh, it's
You've
been
been a great
joy.
member. We're going to miss you, and especially your editing skills.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to miss that a lot. So thank you so much. Enjoy all of your free time on Wednesday nights.
I hear
really
Transport's
fun.
got a new spot open.
You what?
I hear Transport's got a new spot open.
Transport? Oh, maybe Park and Rec.
Ah, that's a good one, too. Easter Day's nice. It used to be Sue, right? Okay. So I guess that's the end of the report. Agenda. Item 9, announcements. The next library board meeting will be Wednesday, May 21st, 2025 at 5:30 in the library meeting room. I always get the name of this one wrong. The library conference room,
Meeting room.
meeting room. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
We should say that on there, shouldn't we?
And then if nothing else, all in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. That was a very quick and easy meeting.
Yeah.
That might have been our fastest meeting ever.